Hello, everyone. Welcome to my stream. My name is Jules, and whenever you are on my channel, you are one of my treasures. I always welcome to what I call Area 5T1, and that is because we talk the 5Ts that I like to journal on my channel. Um, First one we talk about is transition. I am a 54-year-old transgender woman. Talk about triathlon, as I'd like to participate in. Talk about trends, different clothing I like to wear, um, which I did do a video on yesterday. Um, and I also talk about um, teaching. I do teach on two main topics right now. Some is preparedness, and the other is my leaving the Mormon Church, and I'm teaching about their basic principles in case you are learning about it and maybe considering going into the church. For you to know what their basic beliefs are, and basically to really get a chance to think about before you make that decision to join. Uh, and then the last one, I talk about trucks. It's something I've always enjoyed. My first vehicle was a pickup truck. It was a 1986 and a half Nissan hardbody. I'm really have always been partial to Nissan. So recently I bought a body on frame Nissan SUV, which is the Nissan Xterra, the second generation. It is a 2008, which I will do a series of videos of cleaning it up, um, and and will show how I customize or trick it out. It will be a fun series of videos, and so hopefully start getting some people in here. Yes, I did start an hour later than usual, but there were some things I had to take care of before the video, so I apologize for starting a little late, but hopefully we start getting some people in here. Uh, Welcome. Feel free to jump into the chat box. Start. We can start talking of our, usual casual talk. We can talk about any of the 5Ts or anything you'd like to bring up, as long as we. Hi, Serena. How are you today? You're on with Jules. I'm glad to have you in here. That's fine. I'm just glad that you have come in, and and so we can chat. If you want to, chat for a little bit, that's fine. I got up a little late. Usually I start my stream at 2, but I had to start it at 3. I got up, I kind of slept in a little bit, but also had to do some other things around the house, and then I got my makeup done, and to jump on to the live stream. But always glad to have one of my treasures in here. Hopefully we start seeing more people come in soon. I just started the stream, so uh, it's always glad to have, anyone in here. Everyone's invited. Remember, whether you're just a visitor or a subscriber, everyone is a treasure in here. Yesterday we did have like 2-3 people in the stream, but it went well. We went for about 2 hours. I did have, like, my usual moderator, Lena, wasn't in here, but her mom did come in here, and that was cool to talk to, another member of the family. Uh, so, like I said, just feel free to jump into the chat box over here, and what's your what's your Halloween costume? And what do you teach, Serena? Yes, it sounds your schedule's very busy. Yeah, I work 4 10-hour shifts, so I know how busy those 4 days can be, and that's good. Running for a board position. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I remember you mentioning it before. Yeah, I have to finish mine. Actually, I'm doing two for work. We're doing the Peanuts gang, so they uh, told me to be Linus, and or my RN, she's doing Lucy, so kind of put me in the. It'd be, we're doing a brother sister thing, so I will be Linus. I just have to go buy me a blue blanket. The rest of it's done. I had a red shirt with like thin stripes. Usually his has thicker stripes, but I don't want to spend much money. I just have to go buy a little blue blanket to drag around that day. And for after work, I do have a black canary costume. I may try to do a late night live stream on here. Oh, thanks. Yeah, but even had I done peppermint patty, it wouldn't have been difficult because she's very masculine. Yeah, I've heard other theories of even her being, I think, like you said, like a tomboy, or even being, um, you know, well, more on the masculine side, maybe even like some of the other females. I don't know. It's not pointed out in the series. So the tomboy part, I do definitely go with. But then when I get home, I'm gonna change into my black canary costume from Arrow. I do still have to buy some fishnets, so I'll have to head down to the Spirit Halloween store down the street and buy some fishnets. I'm sorry, excuse me. No, no, no. It's Black Canary from the Green Arrow comic book series, or even the TV series. Um, but it's more the um, comic book costume that you would see. She's like in a black bodysuit, wears like a hat, like a crop top jacket, um, and like she wears usually a purple jacket, but I couldn't find the purple one. Found blue, so I just bought a black one, and I just have to get some fishnets, and she usually wears some knee-high boots, but I'm gonna just wear my. Uh, I've got them right here. I'm just gonna wear my old EMS boots from when I used to be a medic. I actually have 3 pairs of these, but um, I'm gonna wear those, and got some fingerless gloves, and um, this wig because she has blonde hair, and let's see, and some red lipstick. That's what she tends to wear. Um, so if you ever watched the TV series, I don't know if they were trying to make it a little uh, more presentable, but there they have her with more like black leather pants, a black leather top, uh, and changes the hair color. And like at one point it's black, another time it's blonde. So there is several different costumes I do want to do. I did do a video a while back on uh, what different cosplay I would like to do. If like going to a Comic Con, my ultimate would be to get uh, stormtrooper armor, but a specific stormtrooper. Being from the sequel trilogy of Star Wars, it would be Captain Phasma, which was actually a female stormtrooper, and she had chrome-plated armor. So uh, I've been looking at the cost of that costume uh, to have something that is what they call 501st certified. Um, yeah, and Arrow is a hard, like, it's difficult if you start watching it like in between, like you don't see season one. It is a hard series to follow. I started following it like it's season three, and I was confused. So then Netflix put it on there, and what I started doing was watching from the beginning up to where it was the season I started watching it at, and then it made sense. There's so many flashbacks, so that you really have to watch it from the very beginning. Um, and as you can see, I'm really into archery. Um, this part of my tattoo and is actually the green arrow arrowhead. The rest of it is actually what my arrows look like. Yeah, it is a very easy series to get confused in. Um, I have actually never been to a comic convention, um, but it is definitely something I want to do, especially being from San Diego uh, originally and seeing that that is the biggest Comic Con there is. Um, I do want to go to one. Um, the thing would be getting the tickets because people buy them way ahead of time. Um, I have cousins that go every year, and she makes her own costumes, and she does a great job. Yeah, there's about I did one video where I talk about the 10 uh, cosplay costumes I would love to do. What my um, my favorites would be, and many of them are where you can like buy certain clothing and build from there. It's amazing what many people build like and make at their own home. Like a lot of people you see in stormtrooper armor from Star Wars, uh, they are members of what's called the 501st. I think it's a 501st battalion, and they have what are called garrisons within certain regions of the country. And when people join, what they have to do is they have to get their armor certified by the people at the 501st. It is like they are really into it. You can look on their website and learn how to make it, or you can just purchase it and it's already 501st certified. Um, but it is expensive armor. Uh, and yeah, I have a cousin. She's great at making different costumes of different characters, whether uh, a lot of comic book characters and stuff. And she'll get tickets to every day of Comic Con in San Diego, and she'll sew the costumes, everything, and she'll make a different one for every day of Comic Con. And I had told her to make if she would, what she would charge me to make a Green Arrow costume. Um, well, it all depends. When you talk to people that are Star Wars fans, it all really depends on what trilogy came out in your lifetime. Like me, I remember going to see Star Wars Episode 4, and back then it was just called Star Wars. And well, it didn't even have the subtitle of A New Hope. I saw it in '77 as a kid. I just happened to go the first day. It wasn't like planned, and it was phenomenal. It was just something that caught my attention, and since then I've been hooked. Five is definitely my favorite. Uh, on May the 4th, I did do a video explaining why I'm such a fan of it, and I did my favorite Star Wars movies from the one I, from what I think is the one that was my least favorite to my most favorite. I also recently I was sitting on Disney Plus. What I did is watch all I did watch all the movies. I've also watched all the TV series, and after that, I did another video on which TV series are my favorites, in the same thing, least favorite to the most favorite. Yeah, and we all have, like me, I've never watched Game of Thrones, and so many people, are big on it. Oh, I understand. We all have, different options on what we like, whether, on movies and anything like that. I mean, even among Star Wars fans, there's different choices. Like, I need to get back running. Running is my weakness. And I need to probably buy a new bike. My bike is still in my pod in Florida, which I need to start saving money to have it shipped over here. Um, and running it, like I said, is my weakness. And since I moved over here to New Mexico, the altitude is a big difference. I moved from basically sea level or even below sea level to a mile high city, and it is hard to adjust to the difference. And um, I have been able to do more running easier, which is like I got to my almost to 5K to 3K at least within a week. I have to look at the schedule out here. Triathlons are very different out here too, because I know that they say that a lot of them will do them starting off in the pool, which probably wouldn't be uh, too difficult to adjust to. Um, then you go on your bike, but like I said, my bike is still in Florida, and right here where I live, there's a great bike um, path. So it's a main road. Um, so yeah, I like I said, I do need to get a new bike. Plus, my old one was a little tall for me. Um, so once I purchase a new one, um, I need to get the right size, which I know what I would be, uh, and then uh, what I'll do is just I'll probably mount my old one on the on the wall here in my house, and then use get the wheels. Some of the spokes had broken during training, so get new spokes put on there and just have them as an extra set of wheels and tires in case during a triathlon I would get a flat. I can just switch real quick. Actually, I did find a nice bike. I think it was even in my triathlon colors. It was a Giant road bike, Giant the brand, at one of the indoor flea markets here. But even being used, it was still $900. Um, so yeah, and that says that, and it was the right size. So I just gonna save some money and get one. Yeah, and it's starting to cool down here in Albuquerque. I mean, I think tomorrow morning it's supposed to hit the 40s. Um, so we'll see how it goes. Once training, as I get a bike, and I will. It'll probably be down in the 30s. Hello, Elena. How are you today? Glad to see you here. Thank you. Yeah, and I did green eyeshadow today. Yeah, I have my gold blouse or my gold chain, my green blouse, and my green eyeshadow and my usual black eyeliner. Sweetness, how are you? We're getting some good people in here. Um, Thank you, Sweetness. Yeah, it's always good to have a good amount of people in here. Um, I'm doing well. Last night we did a stream. It was pretty cool. I actually had Lena's mom in here. Yeah, Serena, it was great having you in here. Oh, that's okay. We went for about an hour and a half. I mean, we had a pretty good conversation going. It was only like three of us in here, but it's better than hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Remember, you're on with Jules. Remember, when you are here, you are a treasure. Feel free to jump into the chat box, like, comment, subscribe. Um, this Oh, it was great. She did give me the new. She emailed me the new graphic, so I used it actually for this stream. Yeah, I have a trans flag on the wall. I've had it for quite a while. Yeah, that's a. I had a friend just. I guess there was flooding in Roswell, which is a couple hours away. So she's going to be moving here to Albuquerque. So she's asking if it'll be if the flooding in Roswell and here were the same. Um, yeah, the still is on here, but like when this gets published after we finish the live stream, uh, it it will show it to open the live stream. Yeah, it was just a lot of rain yesterday here, but not as much. I guess it's not as much as Roswell. I just got a snap from Destiny. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Feel free to jump into the chat box over here to chat. You are on with Jules. Remember, you are a treasure when you are in the, here on my channel, which we call Area 5T1. Yeah, today I will probably do another video after the stream. It'll be on my good old high demand religion uh, series. Um, in fact, before this, I was watching Mormon stories um, podcast, and they were talking about the good old Mormon anti-black policies and about the curse of skin of blackness that they used to pretty much follow. Welcome to the stream. If you just joined in, feel free to jump into the chat box. Hey, Destiny, you got my message. Haven't seen you on here in a while. How have things been? Oh, well, I hope everything's good for you. I hope that, things go well and get better. Yeah, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints really discriminated till about 1978. Um, that's when they actually let them have pretty much rights within the, in the church. Yeah, pretty much. They are. I mean, if you watch my series on them, I kind of go through with a lesson at a time from that book, and then I give like uh, my opinion of what I learned during my time in the church, and then the true things that they taught and what I find that was wrong with their teachings back when I was in. And I'm going to go beyond that book because that's just the basics. In the past year, I have found so much more doctrine that they've taught in the past that's unbelievable on what is out there. Stuff that they hide from the members. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Feel free to jump into the chat box and chat with all my subs here. We have Lena, we have Destiny, we have Sweetness. Um, Feel free to like if you're not a subscriber. Do subscribe to the channel. Uh, Aztec is day by day we are growing, even if it's a subscriber a day. Uh, we're happy with that. Currently, we are at, this morning I was checking it and we were at 364. We are still there. We are working on our way to the next goal of is 510. Yes, it is a very high demand religion, Lena. You are correct. In here, I do have what used to be my temple recommend, uh, and this little piece of paper. When you go to the temple, which is a very special place, according to them, is you're required to have this paper with you. It's like your hall pass to go in there, and to make sure that that you're eligible to do this, a leader of the church, usually your bishop, will do an interview with you, and you're required to be paying your tithing 10% of your income to be able to get that. Later on, I'll break that down. The temple, when you first go, Uh, when I went, obviously I was a strong believer, and even then, some things felt very different, almost, and I shouldn't say almost, but very cult-like. But they don't let you see that till after. They do tell you at one point, if you're feeling uncomfortable, you can you can leave, but you don't see those rituals until after they tell you that. Yes, sweetness. That's where I am. I'm pretty much right now, an atheist. Um, I can't find any religion that. Um, I was raised Catholic, sweetness, but a lot of religions at many times feel very cult-like. Yes, Lena, that is part of information control. There is a lot of behavioral control in the church. They do, uh, you know, have you, they say that you shouldn't do certain things, do other things. Hello, Coleslaw. Yeah, I was a convert, Coleslaw, uh, and it took, like, even my first time going to church. I went to one. Yes, the bimodal sweetness. The first time I went was it was very different. I went on the first Sunday of the month. A friend invited me, and if you don't know about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, um, the first Sunday of the month is what they call Fast Sunday. People fast for 2 meals. We'll donate the money for those 2 meals to the church, um, and then they do their meeting is called a testimony meeting. You get your sacrament, which is the bread and water, and then people are invited up to give their testimony of why they believe in the church. And when you see the people get up in the background, well, a bunch of people will go up, sit on behind like the bishop and the other leaders, and then one at a time they'll come up, giving the reasons why they believe. And when you watch that, it's amazing uh, how many people will say pretty much the same framework of their conversation, uh, but give different stories. And it is so programmed. It's amazing how programmed pretty much everything. It's a template, really, that it's set in your head, but then you kind of give your own spin on it. Um, it is. It kind of, that was kind of scary, but um, then I kind of decided to, they kind of eventually like got me in hook, line, and sinker. Hey E, how are you? Welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. You are a treasure whenever you're on my channel. Oh, I was talking about what they call Fast Sunday, the first Sunday of the month, where Mormons do not eat 2 meals and donate the money of those meals to the church. Pretty much, I went with Jules. It was a nickname I was called a lot, so I decided to go with it. Um, it's just that I'll tell you the truth. A lot of that money they used to say um, would go to certain programs in the church, but when you see that the organization has built up to $260 billion in money, that means there's a lot of money going to the organization. Oh, it was just a nickname I've always had. You could just say Juliana. Hello, Cosmo. Glad to have you on here. Anybody that's not a subscriber, feel free to hit a like, subscribe to the channel. We have just basically, we'll talk about any, I talk about what I call, I try to start off with what I call the 5 T's in about my life, and I do talk about my transition, uh, and I do talk about triathlon. I do teach on certain topics, one being preparedness, 4 times a disaster, two being, I've been doing a series from about my exit from the Mormon Church. I've also been doing one on, I just changed the last T to trucks. I just purchased, yes, yes, I like to participate in triathlon E. Uh, yes, I am an ex-Mormon, and I am doing a series teaching the basic principles of the Mormon Church from this little book here. Um, this is what I call their rookie manual. Um, it's kind of the first book they introduce you in Sunday school. Um, so, wow, we're getting lots of people. Everyone, welcome to the channel. You're on with Jules. Just remember, when you are in here, you are a treasure. Um, I actually don't follow anything right now at this time. Yes, it is rising. It kind of keeps going up and down. Um, but this is probably one of our, we're doing real good today. Um, so feel free to bring in any topic that you would like to talk about. Uh, I do have one moderator in here, that's Lena Mystic Mama. So she helps out, one with uh, saying, to leave likes for the channel, subscribe, comment down, feel free to comment in the chat box. Manoj, how are you doing today? I hope all is well. Yeah, Lena is fantastic for what she does. Hello, Paul, how are you? I am a Cancer. I'll be right back. I just have to take a look outside. Sounds like there's someone out here. Okay. Just sound like someone was near my vehicle. No, that was someone like setting for alarm to their car or honking the horn lots of different times. I can let the sunlight in. I also have this lamp right up here. I can turn on. I also have this I can turn. No, won't do that, Quicks. Thank you, Lena. I wouldn't do anything like that. As far as favorite food, there are a lot of different things. Thank you guys for saying for being respectful. Lena, you are doing a fantastic job. Paul, what would you like to talk about that is? Yes, many people have brought up different topics, but it seems like we've had to wander off because of those. Um, actually, I have actually a video. They really changed a policy on being trans in the Mormon Church recently. They recently changed it to where uh, they're comparing it right there next to murder, and uh, putting you right at like second or third in line for being some of the worst people. Um, I have a video. If you go into my um, my uh, playlists, and I have one playlist called High Demand Religions, High Demand Organizations, and there's a video there exactly explaining their whole new policy. I took it right off of NBC News and broke it down. I do want to do a second video on that. I need to get a copy of their priesthood manual where it is actually stated. Um, yeah, they basically said that you cannot have, when you join the Mormon church, they like to give you a calling. That means like a little job that you need to do. At the time I was still presenting mail, and they, I had a calling um, with the Young Men's Organization. Now they don't even let trans people uh, have a calling because they're comparing you to murderers and child molesters. Where are you located, Sweetness? We had some pretty bad rain out here in New Mexico. Um, we had steady rain Friday and Saturday. Um, and then it seems like Roswell got flooded in the last couple of days. Um, okay. They, yeah, they'll probably get one if you don't present at church, as as the opposite gender as you were born in. Yeah, they'll give you a calling, but eventually, um, what's strange and they go back in the stories here. Supposedly the leaders, well, all males in the Mormon church have what they call um, you know the priesthood, and but the each level of the priesthood you go up, like as far as like becoming a leader, like a bishop, or up in the higher levels of the priesthood, like you become um, a member of the 12 apostles or quorum of 70, which is like the high leadership of the church. They say that you get the gift of discernment. Discernment is that you can tell if someone's lying or not. Um, so a lot of people feel like when they go in with the leadership of the church, even their bishop, that they'll be able to tell if they're lying or not, or will be able um, to uh, tell that you are trans, and people will, you know, go and tell them. But yet, the truth is, the gift of discernment is something that's made up. Years ago, if you look up, I know Netflix made a series about a guy named Mark Hoffman who did a lot of boundaries to the leaders of the Mormon Church, and they weren't able to discern that these letters that would disprove many things about their first vision of the Mormon Church were true. So they can't, really, they can't discern what your gender beliefs are, uh, or your sexuality or anything. What's up, former? Now, their poll, I've actually heard of someone recently being baptized, and they were a trans woman, and members of the church didn't know that, the leaders. So, you know, it, at times they tend to, you know, um, you know, things are different. Also, Paul, what you have to think about it, it is a very misogynistic church. So if I were to go in as a trans female, I'm not going to get a position of leadership. Um, all high positions, whether just starting at the bishopric, all go to males. You're not going to be able to be any. Usually, you'll just be either a relief society president or leadership in the primary to the young children, and there's always a male leader from the bishopric when you are teaching class. So yeah, you're not gonna go beyond that. I was just watching a video on that, Manoj, and yes, they push being attractive a lot. Um, if you go to Utah, do you know it's the highest rate of plastic surgeries and cosmetic surgeries around in the United States? It, and yes, well, they're very attractive. I can tell you when I was brought in, they they pull a tactic a lot of times to pull you into the church, and it's called the flirt to convert. So when I first met the missionaries, it was two male missionaries, and at that time I was still presenting male. But then they pulled a bait and switch, and then they gave me two female missionaries, and both of them were flat out gorgeous. It was just amazing that they did that. Yes, it is Manoj, you're correct. It's a very cult-like uh, religion. It fits right into the Bible model. And sure, go ahead, Manoj. What is the little secret? That's very well said, Manoj. I do believe that when you do watch a fasting testimony meeting on the first Sunday of the month, they are very, very well hypnotized and programmed, I would say. Yeah, you're programmed when you go when you join the church, and to have certain beliefs. Definitely a shout out to all trans people on YouTube. Uh, that's what we are here. We're a family of the entire LGBTQIA community. I would suggest, Paul, watch. In fact, I was just watching a video from a another former Mormon, and they actually have a certain glazed look to them when they're really hardcore into their beliefs. Look up Alyssa Grenfeld, and she just did that video. And she used to be she was raised in the church, multi generations. Did go serve a mission, left the church a few years back, and she was talking about the Mormon glaze they kind of get. It was a great video. I just finished watching it before I came on here to do my live stream. And yes, they are very programmed. I suggest if you ever want to go and watch a fasting testimony meeting on a Sunday, because then they all go up and give their testimonies, and I can tell you the programming. Uh, what most people will go up, will say, I'd like to bear my testimony. I know this church is true. I know that God lives. I know that Joseph Smith translated the Book of Mormon that brought all truth to the earth, and it is another testament of Jesus Christ. Um, and then they'll give maybe a little backstory about their story, and then they'll end it with, and I'll say this in the name of Jesus Christ, Amen. Um, what I would suggest to look up, I would suggest look up Alyssa Grenfell, Cults to Consciousness. Uh, let's see, um, John DeLynn, um, and his goes under Mormon Stories podcast. His goes through the whole history and many things that you see in the church. I would suggest who are the others I watch? Um, um, Cara Burrell. She's focusing a lot lately, though, on a guy named Tim Ballard. Uh, and these are all people that were members of the church, have left, and they tell the truth and will show all this. And yes, I like what Manoj is saying. Yes, I understand your line of thinking also. Uh, but if you really go and witness um, a testimony meeting on first Sunday of the month, you will see how people will, manage to say the same thing, but maybe put their spin on it, and it is very much a programmed what they're saying. And yes, and that's what happened. I believe that's what happened to me. Like I said, the first church meeting I went to was a Sunday, um, for a fast Sunday. So it kind of had me thinking in a different way. And then my friend was like, she's all, maybe that wasn't the best time to come first. And then as I started going more and more to, on Sunday meetings that were a little more normal, I it feels like that programming got into me, and it took me 30, or I'm 30 years since I joined. It just has to be officially, my records just have to officially be pulled from the church, and uh, because you have to send a letter in that's notarized, and it goes through all their channels, and then they pull your records, and then send you a letter back, and that's just what needs to happen. It's like many of them. you tell them a lot of the true history of the church, and they've never been taught it. Like many won't know that the founder of the church had 34 wives or so, and some of them were underage. Some of them were up to 13, 14 years of age. And um, so, and then how they did, move to Utah and did kill off a lot of the, uh, you know, settlers there. Thanks for the support, Sweetness, Manoj. I'm glad I got out of that environment too.